guys, a long time no see. Oh my goodness, it's been so long since I've sat down to kind of film like this. So wish me luck that this goes well. I meant to film this way earlier today around like noon. It is now 7 p.m. and I just couldn't get it done until now, but here I am. And today we are going to be doing the beginning of the year book tag that Larry did. I know it's almost like halfway through February, but she just put it up like a week or two ago, so I can do it too, and I'm gonna do it now. So some of these answers would be a little bit different if I had done this in January, but we can maybe discuss it when we get there. Yes, this is the beginning of the year book tag for 2024 that Larry put together. I think that's some really fun questions. I did an end of year book tag, but I don't think I did like a new year book tag. I can't remember. It's been a while, and a lot of my videos coming out are going to have this like disclaimer on them. I went MIA for a little bit because I got pneumonia like near the end of January, and I had pneumonia for like 3 weeks. I saw the doctor and they're like, yeah, your pneumonia is gone, but the like side effects from pneumonia will last for like weeks. So for a little bit longer, I'm just gonna have like really bad chest pain from like the coughing, like bruised all my ribs, and I'm a little bit short of breath constantly. There's just some fun noises that happen when I try to breathe and I do cough. So it's gonna be fun to edit this, and I might need to take some breaks, but that's fine. You know, I'm just glad to be back making content. So I have some vlogs coming out in the next couple of weeks that I'm excited about, but I really wanted to like get back to making content with a book tag. And so let's do this book tag. I think there's 23 questions on it. I thought you said there were 24 questions, but I only counted 23, so I might have like missed one or something. But let's get started. I have to remember to put books over here. I'm just used to going like this, but I want it on this side today. All right, so the first question is, how many books are you planning on reading in 2024? My book reads goal is set at 75. Last year, I think I read like 81 or something. I'm just trying to read as many things that I want to read as I can. So 75 is my goal. I'm already like way ahead of schedule per Goodreads. I'll put it up here, but I think last I checked, I have a screenshot here because Instagram was like, besties, put your goal here or whatever. Yeah, I'm 13 books ahead of schedule because I've read 22 books this year. Yeah, but 75 is my goal because I kind of think that once like wedding stuff kicks into high gear, I might slow down. So I'm getting a little bit ahead so that I can have some downtime later. So then the second question is, what are your most anticipated releases of the year? And like I said, if I had done this in January, I would have had some different answers, but because it's middle of February, some of those have already released. But for the rest of the year, and these are not in the order of release because beyond me apparently, I have like, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I have like 7 because I couldn't nail it down anymore. What is this hair doing? I really need to dye my hair. Anyways, so these are like a few of my most anticipated releases this year. So I have 12th Night by Alexine Farrell Fulmeth. That comes out on June 6th, and that author is also known as Olivia Blake. It's a young adult book about two people who meet in an MMO, and it sounds super fun. I don't think they know who they are, but they go to the same school, and they're in like high school and stuff, and they meet in the MMO. And it sounds cute and fun, and I'm super excited for that. The cover is also just like super adorable. That one I might be pre-ordering. And then my next one is Immortal Pleasures by V. Castro, which is about like a vampire who's like out for revenge. I think she was like some middle American, or why was I going to say orange? It is late. Okay, it's 7 o'clock. I'm losing my ability to speak words. Heritage. Okay. And she's like out for revenge. She's trying to get all of her like people's artifacts back that were taken by like the colonizers and everything. And at the same time, she's got like 2 relationships going. Each of them satisfies different needs. And it's just, the cover is just like so sexy. Okay, I can't wait to read that. That comes out on April 16th. Then the next one I'm excited about is A Sorceress Comes to Call by T. Kingfisher. This one comes out on August 20th. It's supposed to be sort of like a retelling of the Goose Girl fable. I don't really know what that means, but it's like got an evil mom and there's magic. Yeah, I don't know. It's T. Kingfisher. I'll read whatever of hers you put in front of me, okay? Then Mistress of Lies by K.M. Enright comes out on August 13th. And if you just show me the cover, I would have already been all in. But there's like blood magic and like some enemies having to like work together and stuff, kind of, I think. I don't know, but it just sounds really good. And the cover is beautiful and I cannot wait for that one. And then we have Girls Who Burn by N.K. Pagano. This comes out on July 16th. I don't really remember what this one's about. Then we have The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love by India Holton. This is July 23rd. This is supposed to be kind of like a comfier fantasy, and it's about two rival ornithologists, I guess. They're both hunting like firebirds, things like that. It sounds really cute. He really likes her, and I don't know if she really likes him or not, but I always kind of like that dynamic if it's like the guy is just like simping so hard and she just is not really quite there yet and she thinks they're rivals. I like those like oops, we're not actually rivals kinds of things, like Emily Wilde, where she thinks that him and her are rivals, but really he just likes being around her. Then the last one on this list is Your Blood, My Bones by Kelly Andrew. This comes out April 2nd. From what I remember, like there's this spirit person creature thing, I'm not really sure, but he's like stuck in this house in this property, and the only way that he can get out is by killing like the living like head of the family, I guess. But him and the girl who's technically the head of the family, because I think her father like dies young or something like that, they strike up a relationship. Sounds interesting. I've just heard good things about it. So those are my most anticipated releases for at least the first couple of months. I don't think I have anything on here past August. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to all of those. And then a book on my physical TBR I probably won't ever read. Let me grab it. It's When the Crawdads Sing by Adelia Owens. This book, you can see I got it at Target. I have not taken the sticker off. I used to like take myself on like Wednesday solo dates, and one of those things I would sometimes do is like walk around Target and pick up a book for myself. And while I was perusing Target one day, a girl walked by and she was like, oh my gosh, if you're looking for something to read, you should pick this up and you should read it. And I was like, okay. You know, back when I had a little bit more like fuck you money and I could just buy whatever, I got this book. And like it always sounds interesting, but this was right before the movie came out, and then the whole thing was like the author was like wanted for murder in certain countries or something like that, manslaughter, I don't know, allegedly. It just kept popping up, and then I kept seeing people be like, you know, this is overrated, really lame, so I'm never going to read it. And I think I'm doing an unhaul in the next month or two, so this is probably going to just leave my TBR, but it's the only thing that I look around and I'm like, yeah, I'm never gonna read that. And then a new genre you'd like to try more of. I want to read more thrillers and mysteries. So I have like a couple books here from the library that I think fall into that I kind of want to read. I've got Winter People by Jennifer McMahon. So bad at remembering. I'm doing it on this side today. I've got The Cabin at the End of the World, which I think might fall a little bit into horror, but I'm not really sure. It's Paul Tremblay. So I've got those two. And then I also just picked up Whale Fall, which to me seems like half horror and half thriller because it's about somebody who gets stuck in a whale and has to get out within an hour before they run out of oxygen. So I think that's like a combo thriller horror because it's horrifying, but I don't know if it would really constitute horror. So I've got 3 books from the library that I think fall into that I'm looking forward to reading soon. And I've got a lot of other ones like on my want to read list for this year. So that's what I want to get into. And then it says, what book made you want to try this genre? And I'm just going to say The Family Game by Catherine Stedman. I read this at the very beginning of this year for Winterween. And I think it's kind of the first like thriller that I've ever really read, because I've read a lot of things that kind of toe the line of like horror and thrillers, but like what really separates the genre? I'm not really sure, but I think it was kind of like one of the first, it says it's a thriller that I've read, and I had such a fun time with that. And so I really want to get back into that genre and try it out. I think I want to like try to read some like Darcy Coates, which again, is that horror or thriller? I cannot remember, but I need to put out some holds on her content because I've heard that they're kind of like comfier horror thrillery kind of things, easier reads. So yeah, that I kind of want to get into that too. So then the next question is a book you're most likely to reread. I don't really tend to reread a lot, not like on purpose. I've had like accidental rereads. There's like this one book that I think I've reread like 3 times because I keep forgetting that I've read it, and then I reread it and I'm like, wait, this is familiar. Oh yeah, I've already read this. So there's that. But this year I kind of want to read some series that I've already started, but I kind of want to start over. So like I want to reread The Cruel Prince. Technically I've read the first 2 books in this series, and I got like partway into the 3rd book and just ran out of steam, which sucks because I've heard that like the 3rd book is a lot of people's favorites. So I don't know if I want to reread the entire series, but I kind of want to do some catch-ups here. So if anybody knows anybody who's done like plot rehashes, let me know for this series. Then the other one that I'm thinking about rereading is The Bear and the Nightingale. I'm only partway into the 2nd book in this series, so I think that like a refresh wouldn't be the biggest deal for this, since I would only have to reread the first book and then jump back into the second book. I again lost steam in the second book because we're following, I think, her sister and her brother, and I just was like, I don't care at this point about it. I want to finish this series this year, and I'm debating whether I should restart it or not. So these are like kind of like the only two possible rereads for me this year. Like I said, I don't tend to spend time rereading things, just because I have so many things I haven't read that I really still want to read. Okay, then the next question is a book that you wanted to get to in 2023 but didn't, so it's a priority for 2024. That would be Dune by Frank Herbert. This has been on my like TBR for years, and I just never get to it. So this is on my TBR this year. I know the second movie comes out at the beginning of March. I don't know if I'm going to see it right away, but part of me is like, do I try to read this before I go see the movie? Or do I just like get to it eventually? I know like the whole story. There was like a podcast on Spotify that was like the Dune podcast, and they went through the whole plot of everything. And I loved that podcast. And it sounds like such an interesting story, like a kind of subversion of like the white savior trope or whatever. It's just very large. It's huge. And I would definitely take the jacket off of this if I read it. And I would be like babying this because it's a special edition. It's beautiful. This is a priority for me this year. It's just so huge. Oh no, like books are falling over. Oops. Over. Okay, so then the next question is a series you want to read this year. Let me tell you, there's a lot. There's a lot of series that I want to read this year. I grabbed just a few of them and stacked them over here. A main one that I want to read this year, now that it's complete, is the Atlas 6 series, the Olive E. Blake one, now that the final one has come out. I would like to read this. Is this even in the right order? I wanted to go this way, but going this way. This is a priority for me this year. I would like to read at some point. Oh my god, now my blanket's falling off. I'm just like a mess right now. Oh god, you don't do that. You don't do that here. Stack yourself nicely, please. No, blanket, where are you going? Cold. Then I kind of want to start the Gideon the Ninth series. I think now's a good time for me to start it, since I think the next book in the series, which maybe is the last one, I'm not familiar, is coming out next year, 2025. So it gives me some time to kind of pace myself with it and catch up. And then I picked up the first book in Magnolia Parks, and then I watched people read the newest one and just be shattered. And so now I'm a little bit nervous, but I want to start this series this year, and it sounds kind of fun, like Gossip Girls, but in Europe maybe? I don't know. I haven't even read the back. I just saw that I got it recommended. Like Larry talks about it a lot, and I was like, okay, sold. And then I want to start the Green Rider series, which I've seen multiple people talk about now at this point. Like, I think Easy Cat was the first person I saw, but then Elliot Brooks has also talked about it. Horse Girl Fantasy, really looking forward to it. I have the first 3 books. If I can just get through the first one this year, it's a win for me. Okay, then the other 2 series I have here are mangas. I want to start the Sailor Moon manga. Can we like, what is happening here? Will you focus? Okay, we'll just do it like this. I want to start the Sailor Moon manga, this specific series, and then I also want to start Chainsaw Man. Yep, those are the 2 I really want to start this year. I have a couple that are ongoing, but I'm just very slow about it. So then there's way more other series that I would like to start. There's some I already started. Like, if you'd asked me this in January, I would have said I wanted to start Chestnut Springs, but I'm already 3 books deep into that one this year. And then an author you've never read before but you want to try this year, that would be V. Castro. They have Immortal Pleasures, which I mentioned in the like books I'm excited for this year, but she also has so many other books out that I want to read. Right now I have The Haunting of Alejandra back from the library. This is kind of La Llorona, but she has so many other good sounding stories that I really want to read, so I'm hoping to really get into her. This was just the only one they had at my library. There were others I could like put a hold on, but this was just the one I could grab that day. I really want to get into her and read more of her books because they just sound so good and so like scary kind of, and like really creepy. Like this one, it's already giving me a really intense dread, and I'm only like 63 pages in. Highly recommend if you're into that vibe. And the next question is an author you're probably not going to read more of this year. For me, that would be Katie Robert. This was a hard one for me to pick, but Katie Robert has done me dirty too many times. I'm always like, ooh, I like the premise, and then I read it and I'm like, never mind, I didn't like that. Like the dialogue and sometimes the plot, I feel like, what plot? And I think, you know, that's fine. They're like erotica books, and I need to remember that they are erotica books, and I don't like things that are just like 100% erotica. I need there to be some sort of plot. So no Katie Robert for me. All right. That's my plan. She might get me with something, but I have told myself multiple times no more Katie Robert. My fiance knows I shouldn't be reading more Katie Robert, so he might stop me if he sees me try to pick anything up. Oh, here comes Cubby. Yeah, here you are. Can you move, please, sir? Okay, so he's on my hair. The next question is a popular book that you want to read. Oh man, I meant to scrape this off. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get it off. It's making bad noises. Okay, I have 3 here that I would consider popular. So I have King of Wrath by Anna Huang. And to me, this is popular. I see it mentioned a lot on certain like romance booktubes or bookstagrams. So I think this is popular in those spaces. It's a series that I would like to kind of start. I think it's like a billionaire romance, which isn't really my genre, but I really want to become a girly who reads this genre. I just have to keep trying. Okay, so I want to read this year. Man, I have like stickers on all of these things. Why do people do this? So then I want to start working my way through Throne of Glass series. See, here's another. These are already 2 more series that I want to read. So I have the first one, and I'm gonna have to start hunting thrift books and used bookstores to get the rest of the series because I want it in this style cover, not the new covers. I don't know. I just am not. I like the new covers, but I've already started. I bought this one, and then like just a little bit after I bought it, they announced they were changing the covers. And honestly, this isn't even, I don't think you're supposed to start with this book anymore. I think you're supposed to start with The Assassin's Blade, right? Because that's the prequel. So gotta get my hands on that one. And then the last one, to me, I think this is kind of popular. I feel like all the booktube girlies were talking about this book for a while. It's Bunny by Mona Awad. And I was trying to get my hands on it for months. Every bookstore near me was sold out, and I really wanted to own it, and I wanted to buy it like in person, but every bookstore was sold out. So I just finally put a hold on it on the at the library, and it came in. So I have it here ready to read. I'm excited to give it a try, but hopefully it lives up to the hype and the hunt. All right, because I had to look for this, I had to find it, and this isn't my favorite cover. I kind of still want to get my own copy of it with the cover that I really like, which I think is the like paperback version. But yeah, so these are the 3 books that I would consider like popular books that I want to try to read. Okay, the next question is a non-popular book that you want to read, and I have 3 here for that one too, just trying to cover a couple genre bases. You might be like, oh my gosh, that's a popular book, but I'm going to consider this not popular because of just the amount of like reads and reviews it has compared to other things. But I really want to read They Called Me a Lioness, A Palestinian Girl's Fight for Freedom by Ahed Tamimi and Dina Takruri. I just got this, so I'm kind of excited to give it a read. I think it's going to be a heavy read, but I really want to read it, especially right now. This was on my February TBR. We're still in February. I could make it. And then another one, which is another nonfiction, but a little bit less of like a story, is Tribal Histories of the Willamette Valley by David G. Lewis. It's a little bit more of like textbook style, just talks about the history of the area that I live in and the tribes that used to live here, or that maybe even still sort of live here. I don't know. I want to read this to find out more about it because it is something I wonder about, since so many things in this area are named after like the tribes and the first peoples that were here. And I would like to read more about it, especially since I believe this is an Own Voices, and he's written a lot about this topic, and especially like the histories of the people of Oregon and California, and he works with like regional scholars, tribes, local governments and stuff. So he like visited my library, but I couldn't make it that day. I was really bummed, but I do really want to try to work my way through this year. For fiction, I really want to read Godly Heathens by H.E. Edgman. This one caught my eye at Barnes & Noble right after the hardcover sale, so I bought this not when it was on sale. It sounds really interesting. It deals with like reincarnation and things like that. So it's about like a non-binary Seminole teen. They have like some friends, but their like best friend lives like 1,000 miles away somewhere else. And then they meet somebody else who like strolls into their life and acts like they already know them. And it turns out maybe they do, because they're all like reincarnated ancient gods or beings. And maybe our main character wasn't such a good person, god, being in the past, and people are after them. So I think it sounds really interesting. Yeah, so these are the 3 books that I don't feel like are super popular that I would like to work my way through this year, if not sooner, meaning like in the next couple of months. The next question is an audiobook you want to listen to. I have only ever listened to one audiobook in my life, and it was a novel that is published by St. Martin's Press. So I'm not going to talk about it here. I really enjoyed it. I just can't tell you off the top of my head what any other audiobook I would want to listen to is. I don't really want to listen to the audiobook of like a book that has like sex scenes. I just don't like that. So I try to think of like other kinds of books. Okay, can we focus? Thank you. When I'm getting back into like working out again, then I will be looking a little bit more because I did enjoy the listening experience of the last audiobook, but right now I can't do that. I don't have the breath for that. So then the next question is a book you want to read based on the cover. So I have two books here. I have Starling House by Alex E. Harrow, because look at that beautiful cover. It's so pretty. I love it. And then I also have In These Hollowed Halls, which is a dark academia anthology. It's so shiny. And it's got like plants or something back there. I don't even know. Oh, it's got like roses. Yeah. It looks like it would be so velvety. It's not quite that velvet, but it's still nice. And just the sparkle got me. So those are two books that I picked up almost purely for the covers. This one, at least I had some idea of the plot. And I've since seen people review it saying it's kind of like Beauty and the Beast-esque. And I'm like, oh, I need to get to this sooner than later. But I also kind of want to save it for more like Halloween-y time. I don't know. Oh, putting all these away is going to be super fun. Next question is a book to TV adaptation that you're excited for. So I know this one's already out, but it's Percy Jackson. I'm excited to watch that probably this summer, but I want to read at least the first book. I need to check to see like how much the show covers because I would like to read that much of the book series before I watch it. That one. And then also, if it ever gets made, I'm excited for the ACOTAR thing that they're working on Hulu. I just saw that it's not canceled. It just keeps getting delayed, but who knows? Who knows if it'll ever get made. But I don't really watch a lot of TV, so I'm not really familiar with even other bookish things that have come out. And then something bookish you want to start doing this year. So I made a bookstagram recently, and I would like to keep staying somewhat active on it. Not in the sense that I want to become like a bookstagram like influencer, so I'm not going to be really worried about super activity and things like that. I just want to stay active posting things there and like trying to cultivate maybe some more like friends in the community or stuff. I'm really bad at making friends because I'm always worried about bothering people, but I'm trying. You know, I'm out there liking people's stories, responding, commenting. I'm doing things. All right, I'm trying. So I also want to try to attend some more reading sprints and maybe some buddy reads this year. I did sit in on one of Gavin's reading sprints today. Was I following the timers? No, not really. I was working on something the whole time and just listening to them chat, though, like him and Katie Colson chat. So I wasn't using it as intended, but you know what? Maybe I was. Maybe I was. It was helping me stay productive. But yeah, I want to try to attend more reading sprints and maybe try to hop in on some buddy reads. And then something bookish I want to stop doing this year. I want to stop putting so many books on hold at the library. Like, it sounds counterproductive, but at the moment I think I have like 20 something books checked out from the library. My holds are down to like 4, but that's because they kind of all came in at once. So I don't know, I need to either check out less books from the library or read more books. I'm not sure. And I don't think that the read more books is going to happen, but I also don't think I'm going to be able to stop checking books out. But I would like to because I want to read my own books, but I feel like all I can ever read are library books. Dude, I'm picking you up. Yeah. This is what happens when you walk in front of me, and you know this. So a 2024 bookish goal is I want to read more books out of my comfort zone, like nonfiction, memoirs, poetry, that kind of thing. So I actually have 2 memoirs checked out right now. I have the Britney Spears one and the Paris Hilton one. Dude. And I have some like nonfiction books floating around that I would like to try to read this year. I don't have like a number for books. I just want to try to rotate it into the TBR a bit more often. I don't want to be like, I want to read 12 nonfictions, because although that is a good goal, I just want to try to read more nonfictions and things like that. So the next question is a 2024 booktube goal. I'm just going to keep low goals on this. I would like to hit 100 subscribers. I think I'm at like almost 60, so that's not like an unreachable goal if I stay active and friendly and everything. And I also just want to stay consistent as best I can. Like, I try to upload once a week. I make like a little schedule with goals and stuff. Obviously, like, getting pneumonia wasn't on my schedule, so that threw me off for a while. But I do want to try to stay as consistent as I can for the rest of the year. And then a 2024 non-bookish goal. let's manifest. I would like my current visa process with my fiance to go well and be done as quickly as possible. We are nearing the end of the process. His interview is the last day of April, and then usually you hear back within a week about whether it's been approved and he can come here or not. And then after that, you have to get married, and then you file for his like green card so he can work and everything. So I just want all of that to go as smoothly as possible. I don't want us to have any like hiccups or anything. I would just like it to go well. That's what I'm manifesting for this year. All right, getting a little bit serious there. So then describe how you want 2024 to go in one word. I just said smooth. I would just like it to be a smooth year. I've already had hiccups. We accidentally booked the wedding venue for the wrong day, sent out all the save the dates for a date that didn't exist. And yeah, so that's been fun. I'll just like the rest of the year to kind of go like as smooth as possible. We have a lot of moving parts and things happening, so if we just, smooth it out a little bit. And then booktube creators who inspire you. I'm going to put them up on the screen. So many people who I love to watch their content, whether it's like super aesthetic, super informative, really interesting. There's just like so many people that I love to watch and get inspired by and just enjoy. So there's so many of them. And then something you want to say to anyone wanting to start a book account, I would just say just do it. Just start it. Just make your video about whatever you want to talk about, like whether you want to rant about a book you didn't like or talk about something you loved, just do it and yeah, put it out into the world. The hardest part kind of is starting, in my opinion. The hardest step is the first one. And then once you take it, you just keep taking the steps. All right. So just do it. Just do it. Just get out there. And if you're too worried about YouTube, maybe start a Bookstagram or a book talk and make like little contents. Dip your toes into it and then move forward. Just start making content is really all you can do. And as you make the content, you'll start like refining your voice and your style and everything, and you will find people out there for you. Oh, I forgot to turn my lights on. Dang it. I bought little twinkle lights and I didn't even turn them on. That is all of the questions that I found on the tag. Yeah, I will have Larry's video linked down below if you want to go and see it and do the tag for yourself. I think it was a really fun tag that kind of made you think a little bit. So I really enjoyed doing that, and looking ahead this year, especially, it's reminded me now to go put some of these books on hold that are coming out soon this year. But all right, I think I'm at the end of my like ability to speak, and I need to edit this because I would kind of like it to go up on the 17th. If you're watching this, you'll know if it went up on time or not. But yeah, I will see you guys next week. What is next week? I think I'm doing a vlog. Cubby, why you gotta be that? Next week is gonna be my Allie Hazelwood vlog. So please look forward to that, whether you like or dislike Allie Hazelwood. I'm losing my sanity over it a little bit, okay? I'm losing my sanity over it a little bit. You will understand when you see it. Why you guys just gotta be all over everything? Well, maybe you'll let me hold on for just a little bit while I do the outro. Thank you guys so much for hanging out today. Like I said, I'll have the video linked down below. Dude, he kicking like a rabbit. Thank you for hanging out. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. I hope you're having a wonderful day, night, evening, morning, dawn, dusk, whatever your time zone is. I hope it's going super great for you. I hope you had a great Valentine's Day if you celebrate. And please like and subscribe. It super helps my channel. I post every week if I can about something bookish. And you guys are great. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next week. Okay, bye. Bye. Say bye, Cubby. You want to say bye? Yeah. That's what I thought.